In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take knockouts on Pokemon without any energy, utilizing Alolan Marowak. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take a look at Alolan Marowak. This Pokemon is really cool, and we can potentially use it to get some big one-shots on even Pokemon VMAXs for 0 energy. If you haven't read the card before, it is very cool. The 0 energy attack on this card is called Spirit Smash, and it means that we discard the top card of our opponent's deck, and if that card was a Pokemon, then we deal damage equal to the amount of HP that that Pokemon has. So if we are lucky enough to find a Pokemon on the top deck, then we can deal a lot of damage for 0 energy. We just have to make sure that we are guaranteeing that the Pokemon is on top of the deck, which is frankly a lot easier said than done. How are we going to do that? Well, we are going to utilize Sword and Shield Orbeetle. This card's ability is Bug Radar. It's really neat. It lets you look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and reorder them in any way that you like. In doing that, we need to hope that our opponent has a Pokemon in the top 3 cards. We can put that card to the top and guarantee that we're dealing damage with our Alolan Marowak. We've also got Chip-Chip Ice Axe in the deck. To do the same thing, we can look at the top 3 cards, choose one, put on top, and shuffle the rest into the deck. So we've got options when it comes to getting those Pokemon cards on top. We just have to hope that we manage to hit them. Now, traditionally, when it comes to these kind of decks, it is a bit of a struggle. The deck list is up here for you. I'll just slide out of the way. It is a bit of a struggle sometimes to try and get wins with them, though. So in this video, we're just going to go for one. And in fact, I'm going to be happy if we can take one shot. Alright, so we are ready and raring to go. Hopefully, we can play ourselves a game here. I'm going to grab a Cubone, which we are going to need. I'm also going to attach a U-Turn Board to the active and quick ball away the Evo Incense to grab a Zacian V. We're going to play both of those Pokemon down, and then I'm going to use Intrepid Sword from Zacian to draw some cards. Now, that's the reason this card is in the deck, because this deck takes a long time to do anything, so we probably want to be drawing as many cards as we possibly can in the early game, and Zacian is the best way to do it. Now, we have a pretty solid group of 4 cards here. We can Rare Candy into Orbeetle next turn, and then Marnie, and that'll mean that we've got as many opportunities as possible to try and find Pokemon on the top of our opponent's decks. Now, I will throw this out here right now. I have played this deck many times, and I am yet to take a knockout. Alright? I'm yet to take... It's not even I'm yet to win, right? I'm yet to take a knockout. So, at this point, any game where I get a knockout on a Pokemon, I'm going to be happy with it. And at the moment, we're looking at a Lapras deck. Maybe we can find a Lapras VMAX and knock out one of these guys. So that's my plan. We've got a Lillie's Pokédoll. We're going to play the Evo Incense. We're going to grab... I think the Dottler is fine. And then we can retreat into the Pokédoll. We can evolve the Dottler. We can evolve the Marowak as well. It's probably an argument to quick balling, but I think I'm just going to Intrepid Sword here. And wouldn't you know it, probably should have quick balled. I held onto the Pokécom because I was kind of like, oh, if I find a Pokemon, then I can get into into an Orbeetle very easily. And to be fair, I have, but I've also found a Marowak, so I could have had a second attacker, which would have been good. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's fine. We're all happy here. Now, our opponent is going to need to take 5 knockouts. They're going to need to knock out the Zacian on the bench and take another 4 prizes. So we've at least got that going for us. But now that the Alolan Marowak is in play, it is likely that they're going to understand how to win this matchup. And the way that your opponent wins this matchup is by taking Pokemon out of the deck. It's as simple as that. So if they take their Lapras VMAXs out of the deck, we are not going to be able to deal damage. It's just going to be as simple as that. I'm hoping, though, that they do leave some in there for me. There's one that's leaving the deck now. Usually these types of decks play like 4 Vs and 3 VMAXs, so hopefully we can snag a VMAX so we can take a knockout. That would be genuinely, I'd be so happy with that. I'd be happy to not have to play this deck anymore, but that's okay. It is fun. I will say that, like, it works. It consistently works. It's just not good enough to take those knockouts when you need them. And here comes a big old VMAX, so that's very frightening. To be fair, all of our prizes are on the board right now. Like, we can win this game if we find a VMAX. We need to find a VMAX, right? It's as simple as that. Well, I mean, if they leave the Frostmoth in the active, then we only need to find a Frostmoth, which I very much enjoy. We will wait, though. I would imagine that, yes, they are going to switch into the Lapras and then knock out the Pokédoll. Okay, so we can use a Rosa. We can get ourselves our what do you call it? Our Orbeetle. We're set and ready to go here. Let's try and do it. Rosa, we're going to grab a... what can we grab, actually? Let's have a look and think about this. What's the best? I think a research is good just to give us an option. And then I will grab the Orbeetle as well, because we've got the Rare Candy in hand already. That seems like the logical option. We can Rare Candy the active into the Orbeetle. We could have also just evolved the Dottler as well, but I think it's better to do it this way. And then I'll Quick Ball. I'm going to grab a Cubone, because then I've got another Marowak next turn. And now we see Bug's Radar. Can we get some Pokemon? Let's just reorder these. They're all Pokemon. Frostmoth on the top. We're about to take a knockout on a Lapras VMAX. This literally has never happened before. Spirit Smash. Discard the top card. Deal 320 damage. We took some prizes with Marowak. Okay. It's happened. We've taken some prizes. Spirit Smash has done the job. Now, can we take another knockout? Can we take a second knockout? Is the question. If we can get a second knockout, I make us favourites to win, frankly. There's still Lapras Vs in the deck. There's still a couple of Lapras VMAXs in the deck. If we can get one more knockout, we are in such a good spot. Oh my, I genuinely cannot believe that. Okay, we're getting Marnied. Fair enough. Let's just come back to Earth. This hand is not very good. At least we've got a Lillie's Pokédoll so that we can go back into it if we need to. They're going to Quick Ball here, and they're going to grab themselves another basic. They're just going to take Pokemon out of their decks. Just calm. I just need to calm down. I'm just so happy. So I've played like 15 games with this Marowak deck, and that's the first knockout that I've taken. And it was a big knockout as well. Like, it was a legitimate knockout. Can you believe as well that I've played all these games and I've never once played against a single or a Rapid Strike deck, which I was hoping that I would play against because I've got Psychic typing that maybe I could have taken a knockout using weakness. But look at this. Now they're using their brain. They're discarding Pokemon that they don't need. There are 2 Lapras VMAXs and 2 Lapras Vs in the discard pile. That means there is only one more Lapras V in the deck. There's one more Lapras V Max in the deck, assuming that the counts are normal. When I say, like, normal, they're like, you know, normal. Anyway, what is happening now? What are we going to do? We're getting Resolute Bladed. Okay, so they've used their GX attack to knock us out. Ironically, they would have missed by 10 on this Keldeo. Now, we can get a knockout here, but we do need to find another Marowak, and we also need to hope that a Crobat or a Lapras are on top of the deck. We don't find the attacker, which is unfortunate. And there was no Pokemon on the top of the deck anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'm just going to give them an energy. And that's more like what this deck does. We're going to retreat into the Lillie's Pokédoll, and we are going to Intrepid Sword. And that's fine. We've got a Pokecom and a Pokemon, so that means that next turn we will be attacking, which is good regardless. One thing that I have noticed as well with these kind of decks, Like, when I've been playing this, people like to thin, right? They thin Pokemon out because they know that the amount of damage that I'm dealing is based off of Pokemon in play. That Lapras is now unkillable, by the way. So what they do is they thin their decks quite aggressively. Now, our opponent is down to 14 cards, I think. Right, they've got 6 in hand now, 7 in deck, so 13. We could theoretically, and I don't really want to do this, but I think it's the best way to go. We could theoretically get a win in this matchup by decking our opponent out. I think that winning the game by taking knockouts is now beyond us. But deck out, now that's something I could get behind. They're going to use Sonic Edge, and we're going to hope here. We're just gonna go for a big old hope. I'm going to Bugs Radar. Boss's Orders on top seems pretty good because I can discard that, which I like. They've still got energy in their discard pile, so they can use the training center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the Frostmoth. Alright, so that's got 2 retreat. I'm going to Pokecom away the Blipbug, and I'm going to grab a Marowak. Then I'm going to Quick Ball away a Rare Candy, because I don't need that anymore, to grab another Cubone. And then we're going to just set ourselves up with an Alolan Marowak to take some attacks and try and reduce the chances of our opponent winning the game. Spirit Smash will discard the boss off of the top deck, so they're going to find it harder to gust up our Zacian, which obviously is going to be quite difficult for us to retreat, considering there's no way for us to do it. But since Spirit Smash can still discard cards, even if they're not dealing damage, we can potentially put ourselves in a position where we win the game via deck out. So that is now my focus. That is now my focus. The insanity of taking 3 prizes early has put enough fear into our opponent that they now feel like they need to use all of their resources. They can't use Professor's Research, or they just had another boss in hand anyway. Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter here. I'm happy to just Bugs Radar and see what they've got. I'll put the Quick Ball. Actually, yeah, let's put the Snom on top. Let's put the Snom on top. They might feel like they're incentivized to get rid of it by thinning it out. Then I will also use Ordinary Rod. We will put these 2 Pokemon back in the deck. Actually, could I should reset step, yeah. Because they've got 3 cards in hand. We can thin out a bunch more, and then Professor's Research. We've got heaps of time here. Like, we're in absolutely no rush. They've still got to take 5 prizes, so let's just put an energy on top. They're going to be able to retreat anyway, that's not a problem. I'll play down the Pokédoll, and then I'll Intrepid Sword. Alrighty. I actually feel really confident that I'm going to win this game. I know I shouldn't, but they've got 3 cards left in deck, and they need to attack 2 prizes in the active, which takes them to 3, and then they need to take 3 more prizes. So they need to attack 4 more times, and they've only got 3 cards left. So I am feeling like we could very easily sneak a victory here. And to be honest, if we do that, I'm going to be more than happy with this as a video, even if it's a short one. Even if it's a very short one, I'm going to be very, very happy with taking a knockout. Looks like our opponent is loading up energy onto the Lapras, and that's fine by me. That's not a problem at all. Because every card that you play gets us closer to winning the game. We've got Marnie in hand, so if they do get themselves into a very awkward position where they have less than 4 cards, we can use Marnie. They're going to G-Max pump and take a knockout. Fair enough. That's fair enough. Take your 2 prizes. You're well within your rights to do that. I am going to promote the Orbeetle, and I think as long as we can get a second Marowak here, and we definitely can, because there's Marowaks in the deck. There's 3 of them there. Unbelievable. Okay, so we should be good to go here. I'm going to play down this Cubone. I'm going to use, actually, let's just Rosa. Let's just get some more cards out of this deck. Let's grab a Marowak, and we can grab a, I think maybe a boss. That seems fine. Try and gust up something that we don't need to worry about. I'll put the bucket on top, I suppose. Doesn't really matter anymore. And then we will retreat into the Marowak. We'll Spirit Smash, discard a card from the top of our opponent's deck. They're going to draw a card. They have to Marnie this turn. They absolutely 100% must use Marnie this turn, or they lose the game. Yes! Come on! Come on, Marowak! Come on! Alrighty. Promote. Oh, yes. Okay. Spirit Smash. Discard a card. Does 50 damage as well, and I win! Come on! Oh my goodness, we finally did it. Okay, so this is gonna be a tough one, because this is the first time we've had a genuinely bad deck on the channel since the grading system has been here. So let's just set some expectations. Playability-wise, yes, you can get a one-shot on a VMAX with Alolan Marowak. It's possible, but it's not likely. Playability of this deck is a D. I played 15 games and won 1, alright? Don't come out and get this one and expect it to be playable. It is purely a challenge deck that I am happy, frankly, to have knocked off the list. Consistency-wise, I'll give it a C. It sets up, and it does what it wants to do most of the time, in the sense that you can get Bug's Radar going, and then you can use Spirit Smash. Whether you get to attack for damage is another question, and most of the time people will they'll cotton on to what you're doing, and they'll just get rid of the Pokemon from their deck. So, consistency-wise, yes, in the early game you'll be able to get set up, but it won't necessarily be able to deal any damage in the long term. Value-wise, I'm giving it a C for value, because, yeah, you can find most of these cards on the cheap, but it's not really worth getting them. Longevity of it is not necessarily that good. Marowak will be rotating very soon. Plus, you're not going to be able to upgrade this into anything meaningful beyond just a fun meme deck in the long run. It's not going to get there. And for me, D for fun, I didn't have a good time. I'm not going to lie to you. I had a great time when we won. I will say that. When it works, mwah, perfect. But the other 14 games were a pretty drab affair. Overall, a D+. This is a deck that you can build. I wouldn't recommend it. So I can finally tick that Marowak off of the OG 150 challenge. There are still quite a few tricky ones here. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I don't know how I'm going to do Electabuzz. I don't know how I'm going to do Cloyster. Dodrio is going to be a problem. There are new cards coming out, though. Chilling Reign is exciting. I know that the Doug Trio, which is up here somewhere, over here, that one should be doable. Same with Taurus. There's a couple in here that we can get, but yeah, we are getting very close to grind time, and there's a lot of cards on this list that I'm not sure about. One thing that I definitely am sure of, though, is that I'm very thankful for the support of every member who jumps on board with the channel. Hopefully you enjoy the content enough to be able to support me for the couple of bucks every month to do what I am currently doing, like the people on the screen do. Thank you very much to Dadbod and Azazel for being Ascended members. They are absolute genuine heroes. Appreciate it as well from Fernando Yolo, Stephen Ty, Agent Abel, Austin Josiah, Lift Vera, Robsy Caster, Brad, Shings Brad, Justin, and Crocotaku Gaming for being Royal Sableyes. All the people in white are Mega Sableyes as well. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for coming along. Everyone's dropped off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I can say whatever I want now. Bye.